If you had to get your first 10 clients today, no ads, no fancy website, no big following, could you do it? That's what this live is about. Thank you for being here for Tuesday's Top Tips. My name is Alicia All. I'm the founder of Level Up Score, and today I'm going to give you an inside advantage, an easy way that you can get your first 10 clients. So if you are struggling right now to get your first 10 clients, whether you're a credit professional, you're a loan officer, you're a real estate agent, this live is for you. So listen up, because I'm going to give you 3 super easy steps that you could take today to get your first 10 clients. I'm so excited to bring this information to you. Again, your first 10 credit clients, if you're a loan officer, your loan clients, real estate agent, your real estate clients, no ads needed. This is a proven strategy. I've used it over and over again. Real clients, real results. And I'm super excited to present this to you today. So thank you for being here. Again, my name is Alicia Alt with Level Up Score, and I am going to dive in so we can get started right now. Again, if you had to get 10 clients right now today, or let's say in the next 10 days even, no ads, no big following, no fancy website, could you do it? Because most people think that they need more leads. They need to find another way of getting leads. What they're doing isn't working. But actually, they don't have a process, and they don't have an easy process. So today I'm going to give you 3 easy steps that you can take to get your first 10 clients in the next 24 hours or the next 10 days. You're going to get your first 10 clients by following these 3 easy steps. So stay with me, because I don't want you to miss this. And if you are a credit professional, maybe you have been able to get clients. Maybe you are paying money in ads. Maybe you have the big following. Maybe you have the fancy websites. You may still want to digest this information on these 3 easy steps to gain more clients. So stay with me on this. I'm excited to present this to you. Let's get started. Okay. I'm going to give you 3 easy steps, and this is step number 1. We're going to kind of shoot through this really fast. I do teach a class on this. I do that Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, so please feel free to join that at any time. We'll deep dive in this exactly how I do it, and I'm going to be teaching that also on Wednesday, so tomorrow, so I'll talk more about that. But step 1, what I want you guys all to do right now is start where you already have access, your own personal network. I think we forget about that sometimes. But if we kind of sit back and think of like these pyramid scheme type companies like Amway, I know a lot of you guys know of Amway. If you ever went to Amway, well, the first thing they're going to have you do is they're going to give you a piece of paper. There might be some more technology now, but in the back in the day, they'd give you a piece of paper and they'd say, write 10 names of 10 people that you know, family, friends, your network, coworkers, maybe someone that you met when you were out and about, whatever. Write 10 people, and they would have you call those people. Okay. So we're going to talk about that, but I want you to think about this for a second. Most of us don't think of our own networks, and then some of us do. Some of us start calling our own network, but we learned it the way that Amway taught it, and we're calling our network trying to sell them on our product or service. That's not what we're going to do today. So please stick with me. I'm going to show you how to use your own personal network to get your first 10 clients or more. But think about this for a second. You probably, if you pick up your phone and you were to look at your contact list, I don't even know how to see my full contact list, but I can tell you this much right now. I have 69 voicemails since yesterday. So that tells me already, if I have 69 voicemails, that I probably have over 100 contacts in my phone, right? You probably do too. So think about that. That's a huge, huge opportunity you have right in your hands. You have it with you all day long, and you're not taking advantage of this network. But most people, instead of taking advantage of their own personal network, they try posting things and praying, right? They're waiting for strangers to recognize them. They're waiting for their branding to stick, right? But that is not the way that you are going to grow your first 10 clients. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that today. So step 1, I want you to get out your network. Find out who's on your network. That's step 1. And now I'm going to take you to step 2 and how we're going to use this. But before I do that, I want you to know that we're not doing it the Amway style. We're not looking at our network. We're not going to be dialing that phone and then pitching them our services, products, or whatever we're selling. This is where most people mess up this whole network. people don't like to be sold to, right? I don't, you don't. Why are we doing it, right? And so we certainly, you ever have like family and friends, they find out you're doing some kind of pyramid scheme, they're like, please keep me out of it. Don't call me, right? Don't post your stuff on my social media. You'll hear that a lot, right? Nobody wants that. And that's where a lot of times people mess up is they start to do that. They call their network and they're trying to sell them. And that's not what we're going to do. So stick with me, okay? The third point I want to tell you is that we're going to inform them and not sell to them. So instead of pitching, we're going to look at informing them. We're not calling them to pitch, we're calling them to inform them about what we do. Okay. So here's kind of a script, if you will, that you could use with your network. Listen to how this sounds different than what we could do. So it might be something like this. Hey, I wanted to reach out because I was just starting something new, helping people improve their credit so they can get approved for the things that they are looking to get approved for, whether that's a home or a car. I'm working on something new and I thought of you. Okay. Opposed to, hey, I am, you know me, we know each other. I started this credit repair company and I'm helping people fix their credit. I just want to see if you might need your credit fixed. Right? Now, the person on the other line may indeed need your services, but the approach is wrong. So again, the approach here is that we're informing them of what we're doing now. Alex Hormozi does this every time he starts another company. He calls his contact list and he informs them of what he's doing. And then he might say, after he says the script, so I'm going to say it again so you get it. Hey, I wanted to reach out because I just started something new, helping people improve their credit so they can get approved for a home loan or car loan. Pause. Also, if you know anyone who's been struggling with their credit or trying to get approved for something like that, I would love the introduction, right? So that's going to be after there's a conversation started. You're talking to your friend, you're talking to your network. So naturally, there should be a conversation. Again, you're not selling them at all. You're not even asking them to buy anything, okay? Now, sometimes your first call, your first client that you call and you're doing this might be saying, hey, what about me? I need that help. And then you may get them, but you never sold to them. And that's really important in this process. So I just want you to know that. Your first clients don't come from pitching. They come from conversations. Again, your network, people you know, people who already like you, hopefully trust you, right? Those are the people you can get your first clients from. So here's what's going to happen. Some of those people are going to say that they need your services. This is great. This could be the 10 people right in here without that referral. Okay. So I want you to understand that. Now I'm going to take you to step 2. Step 2 is super important. I'm going to make my screen big here because I want you to hear and see this. So step 2 is show them. We don't have to explain. We're going to show them. And this could be very powerful as well. And I want to show you how we do this in Level Up Score. I do this with a lot of people who come to me that are brand new to credit repair. They're trying to get their first clients. And I inform them, if you can show them rather than explain to them, you're going to be able to sell your product a lot faster. So let's dive into that a bit. So you started this conversation with your network, and then the next mistake people often do is they over-explain. So they're on that call with someone, they're like, yeah, I'm trying something new. I'm doing something new. I'm helping people with credit, helping them get approved for things like homes and cars. And then the person's like, oh yeah, really? Tell me more about that. Oh yeah, I do these disputes and I do this and I do that and I do this. And they go on and on and on. And I don't know if you've been on a phone call like that, but I've been on a lot of them. And then you start like, not even realizing you're on the other end of the phone and the person's just, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shoot, I didn't hear a word they said because I'm sidetracked on something else, right? Something else caught my attention and then I didn't hear them. And so when there is lack of them hearing you, a lack of their attention, or maybe even confusion, that's going to kill this whole process. So very, very important. If people don't understand what you do, they're not listening to you, they're not attentive to you, they don't buy. Okay. So how do we fix that problem? We show them. So on your screen here, you're going to see, and I'll make this bigger again, but you're going to see an example of an action plan from Level Up Score. These are white label products, so your company information would be on here, right? But this is James Smith. Now, James Smith is a demo person. This is not a real person. It's a demo. So in Level Up Score, you can make what we call a demo account. And then you can take something that we call a magic link, where you can send it to the person to show them exactly what you're doing. So how this works: you create your demo account in Level Up Score. You send the person that you're talking to on the phone. You might say something like, hey, let me show you what I do. I'll go ahead and text you a link so you can see what I do. And then you're going to text that link to them, and they're going to open that up, and they're going to see exactly what you do. So you don't have to explain it. Now they're going to be inquisitive. They're going to give you their feedback on what they see. Oftentimes I hear stuff like, holy cow, seriously? This is awesome. I get that from loan officers. I get it from real estate agents. You will get that too. I've tested this and had a lot of people, I've challenged credit repair companies to do this, and they're excited and surprised at some of the responses they get and how easy it is to then say, hey, do you know anybody that you think would benefit from this? And guess what? A lot of times, again, that person you're talking to on the phone, your contact in your phone list, is going to sign up for those services. So I think it's really important. So point number one, again, if people don't understand, they don't buy. So if we show them, it's going to help them understand. Point number two, use a system. So of course, I'm using Level Up Score for this. So instead of explaining, I'm showing them actually what I do, this action plan. And of course, this breaks down their credit and it shows them what's going on. So I can talk to them about, hey, so you see James Smith here. He wants to have great credit. He wants to optimize his credit. So you're going to see, here's his credit scores, how they improved. He's going to be able to see that too. Here's the actions that he has, right? And so you can go down through real time with that person through that, answer their questions, and really allow them to dive in what you do. I'm excited for you to take me on this challenge. So if this is interesting to you and you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't even think about this, and you want to see it in real action, and you want to get your own demo account, and you want to get your own magic link so you can do this with me, I have a class on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. I'll give you the QR code at the end of this so that you can register for this, so I can show you exactly what I do and how amazing it is. You don't have to sell anything, right? You don't have to explain what you do. You're going to show them, and by showing them, they're going to understand. They're going to digest it. They're going to be wowed by it, the professionalism of it, and then you're going to have a client very easily. So again, I send them this demo link, right? We call it a magic link inside that you'll create, and they can actually see what you're talking about, why you called them. And when people see, they usually buy, because when they see, they can understand. They understand. Okay. So here we're going to go on to my point number 3 that I want to bring up to you guys is credit monitoring. So with Level Up Score, we're going to do this type of thing where we're doing the demo account and we're actually analyzing a credit report. We're showing them what we would provide to a consumer. We're going to have credit monitoring required for other individuals to get the same experience, right? And this can be a hard part of the process, because a lot of people want to say, I'm going to give you a free consultation, and they don't want to charge for the credit monitoring. But this is really important, because and you can say something to the client, something of this nature, I don't guess, I analyze real data, right? And so the key is, and this is again where most people hesitate, but this is where you win. You need to require that they get credit monitoring. Of course, just so you guys know, Level Up Score can't analyze nothing, right? So it needs that credit monitoring from one of the top service providers. And you guys, we service pretty much all of the credit monitoring sites out there. So you would have your client sign up for that credit monitoring so they can get access to this plan. And what this does is it puts commitment into them, right? It really builds commitment that they're looking at, they're doing something in order to get this. And of course, you get that data access you need, and then you're going to make some income right away, right? So when they pay for that credit monitoring, you're making that affiliate income. So you're making income right away. And so all of these things is very beneficial to this entire process, right? Okay. So you're not selling credit repair, you're selling clarity. Remember that. I talk about this all the time. We are not credit experts. We are not credit repair experts, I should say. We are strategists. So we're strategizing to help someone get to a big goal that they had. That's really important. And so you can say, I'm going to give you a strategy planning session. Well, here's what I need you to do. I just need you to sign up for this credit monitoring, and I'll be able to do a strategy session with you, right? And then you can run it through Level Up Score. You have their action plan. You can send them a magic link. You can go over it with them, or so you could charge for that. or you could just charge the credit monitoring and provide that. It's completely up to you. Some people will charge for it and then upsell it later. Again, completely up to you. So your first goal is not perfection. It's getting reps in. We want to get as many people in as possible when we're just started, because we're going to build some confidence in ourselves and our own process by doing that. Okay. So I think that's really important. So now we need to deliver the plan. So once I have the report, I break it down for them. What's hurting them, what needs to be fixed, and what steps need to be taken, right? So we have a couple different ways you can do it. The way I like to do it is they get on my credit monitoring. I run the plan through Level Up Score. I send them a magic link for that. They get to review that plan real time with me. And then at that point, I can upsell them to my full service, right? But my full service is I'm your coach. I'm not your doer, because they have the action plan. I'm just the coach. I'm going to help them along. And so that's one way to do it. Another way that I love to do it is charging for a strategy session. So it might be, hey, for $99 and getting your credit monitoring set up, I will do a strategy session for you. This works really well for those individuals who are looking to purchase a home. Maybe they just got denied. Maybe they're in a time-bound issue, like they have to get things done right away. And these people are more likely to pay for that $99 strategy session. Of course, you can charge whatever you like, but that's one of the options that I usually have. So we're going to deliver that plan because we want them to see it, and that's going to allow us to do that upsell. So now let's talk about real quickly what I call step 3. So I promised you 3 steps in the process. So step number 1, just to kind of go back to step number 1, obviously we talked about the fact that we need to look at our network, right? So this is where we're going to get our first 5 to 10 people. And then step 2, we're talking to them to inform them and show them what we're doing. And in this process, we're going to get clients from that, right? And so step 3, we're going to turn those 10 clients into a system. This is really important. So if we're looking at the screen here, the confidence to cash ladder is what I call this. So phase 1, we get our first 5 to 10 people. This is a free or low barrier. That's my suggestion, okay? It does require them to get credit monitoring, and then we're going to focus equals learning plus confidence. So what I mean by this is for these first 5 to 10 people, we're building confidence. We're learning our own system and how we want the process for our clients when they come into us to get to their big goal, right? And so this is a really important place that I think we are all so eager to start making money and start charging all these fees without doing the homework to really build the confidence in ourselves that we're able to produce what we're saying that we're going to produce for that client. So the first phase I recommend is what I call beta, which is where you're getting those first 5 to 10 people a free or low barrier, obviously still requiring credit monitoring. And the nice thing about this is that you're still going to make money with those people. So you're going to make money off the credit monitoring affiliate income. A Level Up Score is filled with resources that the consumer would need to take in order to get to their credit goal. And so those are going to pay out. So there's lots of ways. So you're still making money, but not necessarily charging a fee to the consumer. And then once you feel very confident, you have got some Google reviews, hopefully you're getting some video reviews, you're getting some testimonials, right? Then we enter into phase 2. Phase 2 actually happens very easily because these first 5 to 10 people, we are going to ask them, hey, do you know anyone else that I could help? They generally do. Sometimes they'll know a lot of people. I had one lady who had 10 people she referred to me, right? All I wanted was 10 new ones at that point, and she sent me 2 all by herself, right? And so you are going to have situations like that where you're asking them. So these are people who are happy with the process, and you say, hey, I'm going into phase 2. I want to get 10 more people. Adding this sense of urgency or this sense of scarcity, 10 more people. I can only handle 10 more people. And I recommend that you do that in the beginning. You don't want to get overloaded with hundreds of clients and not really have built out your system, okay? I teach this in A Millionaire's Journey. So if you guys anyone is interested in that, that is a different program that I teach on how to stage your business so that you can have $1 million business that has a very solid foundation. But for purposes of what we're talking about now, we're going to get those 5 to 10 people. Once we feel confident, we're showing results, they're happy, we can go into phase 2 where we start charging. This is where we're asking those same people, who else do you know, right? And then in phase 2, we might start out that fee being $49 a month. Maybe it's $99 a month, right? And whatever that fee is, we can start in phase 3, we can start gradually increasing it. But we stick here first. So we want to make sure when we charge a fee that we can easily get 5 to 10 new people who are willing to pay that fee. That's really important. That shows that our confidence is there to accept that income, and they're willing to do it because they trust us from the experience that we've had so far. Then when we get to stage or phase 3, this is where we start to gradually raise our prices. Okay. And I recommend that you don't have your own feeling of a ceiling because you don't know what clients are willing to pay for your expertise, right? But you might start out somewhere, like I said in the beginning of phase 2, maybe you're $49. So let's just give that example. You start out at $49 a month. They have to have credit monitoring too, but $49 for your credit coaching and support services. And then once you're able to get 5 to 10 people who easily paid you, you feel comfortable, you have good systems in place, then you can say, okay, now it's $59 a month. Now it's $79. Now it's $99. All the while you're building more and more confidence in your own ability, right? And you're building this know, like, and trust. You're getting Google reviews, you're getting testimonials. All of this is going to build the confidence in the consumer so that you can start attracting those strangers, right? Again, most times we start because we're trying to get strangers attracted to us, and that's the wrong way to go. We need that network. Network is going to help us get the word out that strangers are going to want to buy. Okay. And so I highly recommend this process. I call this turn your 10 clients into a system, the confidence to cash ladder. Now, along with step 3, there's additional ways you can get more clients. So again, we're not going to stop the other things. We're just going to make this our first thing so we can get those first 10 clients, right? But in social media, we could do posts like, I'm looking for 10 people who want a personalized credit strategy plan, right? If you just get denied for a home loan and you're wondering why and you want help, I'm your girl. I'm looking for just 10 people, no more than 10. Once I get the 10, I'm closing out. I can only handle 10 right now. And maybe it's free. Maybe you're charging $99 strategy session, right? The other opportunity is referral expansion, right? After helping someone, hey, do you know anyone else that needs this, right? And we talked about that with those first 10 clients. And you would continue to do that, right? So I recommend you start posting on social media consistently. Make sure you're commenting in different groups and stuff about what you're doing. When people have questions or people are, in pain because they just got denied and they don't understand, make sure you're the one that says, hey, I can do a strategy session for you, right? Referral expansion, you're asking all the people who work with you, hey, do you know anyone else, right? And then strategic partnerships, right? And the reason I put this last and I kind of highlighted in a blue box is for one very important reason. When we reach out to strategic partners, we need to make sure that we have a track record that shows that we can get them to the goal. So if we're working people for getting approval for a home loan, can we prove that we can do that? Is the system that we're doing, the things that we're doing, getting them to that finish line? Because that's important. We don't want to reach out to a loan officer or a real estate agent and say, hey, I'm helping people get approved for a home loan, and you haven't done it yet. Your confidence in talking to them about it's not going to be well, and you don't have a track record. You don't have proof. You don't have the Google reviews. You don't know. So you want to have the proof, not just for them to see the proof, but for your own confidence to know that you can do it. Because once you have that confidence, talking to a loan officer and a real estate agent about what you're able to do comes very naturally, and they can feel it and they can sense it, right? But once you do that, once you connect with them, I recommend taking them out to coffee, having lunch with them if you're able to do that. Face-to-face works so well. We know that. If I have a client face-to-face with me, I can sell them so much easier than over the phone or any other means of communication, right? Face-to-face is very powerful because it builds so easily that know, like, and trust, or lack thereof, right? And so going and meeting with them for coffee, I love to do this. I'll meet with a loan officer or real estate agent, like, hey, I'm working on something. I'd love for your opinion and see what you think about it. Can I send you a link? Can I text you a link right now? Like, yeah, sure. I send them that magic link, that demo link. And then I do a quick explanation. They look at it, they're wowed by it. And I say, hey, if you got clients that are denied for a home loan, I can help them get approved. I will do this plan for them, specifically tailored for them and what they need. And then if you have some other extra things that you're like, hey, this person needs to do this as well, I can add that into the plan. And you can show them how you can do that. All of this is something that they see rather than you just throwing up on them and telling them all of the beautiful things that you do, right? Seeing is much more believable than just you talking about it. So these are things I do think you should do, these two, especially in conjunction with your network. But remember, we're not sitting there praying for the stranger to see us. We're building our brand so the stranger sees us. All the while, we're working with our network and our network's friends and our network's network, right? So if you think about this, if I have someone in my network who signs up with me, that person probably has 100 people in their network. So how can we wow them to get the opportunity to open up their network of people who may need our services? And sometimes that's done because they're like, hey, I know somebody. They might be posting their results on their Facebook page or their social media. There's all kinds of ways that they can open up their own network to you as well. So please keep that in mind. And then again, I did say strategic partners later after you've proven your system. So I hope that helps. Okay. All right. So I have just given you 3 easy steps. I think you guys can see very easy steps for you to be able to get those first 10 clients. I'm going to challenge you today, everyone who is listening to this, if you have 0 clients, try this today. If you don't have the Level Up Score account to create that demo account, please jump on the live tomorrow. This is the QR code. I'm going to show you in real time how to get the credit report in, how it breaks it down step by step, how to turn that into a paying client. I'm going to show you that tomorrow on a live. That's at 5 p.m. Eastern time. I'll show you how to do that. And then I'm going to challenge you, go and do it. I promise you, you will get your first 10 clients, maybe in 24 hours, maybe in less, certainly in 10 days or less. If you do this strategy, I can promise you that. And that's going to compound because we're going to use those clients as a system for the next 10 clients, and so on and so forth. And it becomes very easy at that point when you go this route to the next time you look around, you have 100 clients and you're thinking to yourself, whoa, how did I do that? And you can take it back to where you began today, creating the system that started with your first 10 clients. And I would be happy to walk you through that and teach you how to do that. And just, it's a repeat and recycle. Okay. I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here for Tuesday's Top Tips. I will be here every Tuesday at 12 noon. So I'm here every Tuesday for Tuesday Top Tips at 12 noon. So meet me here. I want to pour into you. If you want, you can throw in the comments if you have different information that you think, hey, this would really help me in my business. I would love to help you. I have grown and scaled 4 credit repair companies. I've been doing this for almost 24 years. August will be 24 years. So I might know something that might help you, and I would love to share that. We need more success bosses out there who are really helping people get to big credit goals. That's you. That's me. We need to do this together, and I'm here to help you grow and scale your business. Thank you, and have an amazing day.